Are you really talking shit about my salmon tank top?
No, I actually like salmon.
I like this color.
Yeah.
And I like salmon.
I wouldn't wear a blue
I just had salmon for lunch. And now I get to wear a salmon tank top.
with blue shorts.
They can't see my shorts.
Yeah, they can.
I'm wearing blue shorts because I'm wearing those in the next video. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to talk about something really interesting today, and I really want to hear from you guys down in that comment section below. And not just because it boosts the YouTube algorithm, that and tapping that like button makes you do that too, but I really want you guys to listen to what I have to say. And for those of you who have been training for a relatively long time, I want to know if you've experienced the same thing or something similar. Or if you think I'm full of crap and you don't believe anything that I'm saying, which is Ricky shaking his head up and down right now. So Ricky is actually really lucky because we filmed the video earlier this morning and we came up with a new hashtag. It's called Passion Neck Veins because they were like out to here because I was doing a lot of yelling and I was getting really emotional. He wanted to put himself through TRT just so you guys can watch and learn. Not to mention all the views he's going to get from putting all the videos in a playlist. In this video I filmed this morning, you guys will see that later this week. Very emotional. But we filmed that, and then we did a workout, and I'll tell you what, guys, the workout I did today, I did back and biceps and abs. Yesterday, I did chest and shoulders and abs, and these are some of the best workouts I have had in a very long time. Like, I just have that feeling of...
The most satisfying feeling you can get in the gym is the pump.
It's almost like you have that feeling of the walk around pump the next day after the workout. Like you're sore and you still have that walk around pump. And even my wife is like, "What are you doing? Like you look great. Like you look like you're getting back to how you used to be." And I'm like, "Well, I switched back to bro splits from doing full body." And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I've come to a couple realizations and I want to get your opinion on this. So I've been doing full body training now for the past probably like 6 or 7 months, right? It's been a while we've been doing full body training. And don't get me wrong, the workouts are great, but I feel like I fell into this trap that's on YouTube right now where everybody is just making videos and putting so many scientific studies in the videos to try to justify all the content that they're putting out, which, don't get me wrong, is a really good thing to do and a smart thing to do. I use studies in my videos as well, especially my nuclei overload training videos where I talk about, very detailed things that are gonna affect how you train, right? It's important to have studies, but then I started to think, like, you know what? I feel like sometimes studies can be a limiting factor as well, especially mentally, because the human body is capable of amazing things. And the biggest reason why people are saying to switch to full body training, and I've talked about this too, is because you have the ability to hit multiple growth windows because you're hitting the same body parts a few times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how your training schedule works. And in these studies that people talk about, essentially they go down like this. They get a group of, let's say, 10 athletes, and they'll have 5 athletes do full body training a few days a week, and then they'll have 5 athletes do like bro split training. So let's just take chest, for example. They'll have the bro split training people do 20 sets of chest exercises on Monday only, and then only do that every Monday, so they're resting 6 days in between their training sessions. And then they have the athletes over here doing full body. Let's say they're still doing 20 sets, but they're only doing 5 sets a day, and that's spread across 4 days. So you're hitting 4 growth periods in that week. You're touching the muscle and you're activating it 4 times a week versus once, but the same amount of sets. And the outcome of these studies have shown that these people are seeing more gains, right? And so that's kind of like the basis. And then we also talk about junk volume. And junk volume is basically you only can do so many sets before your body's like, "Listen, bro, I'm done. Everything you're making me do right now is just going to impact my recovery time, and it's actually going to make you either lose muscle or make you gain less." So if you're doing a ton of sets and a ton of volume, you're hitting junk volume, therefore you're not going to be able to grow as fast, and that's why full body training is better. So it's kind of like lays down the basis, right? But, I'm going to have a circle. Ricky, you're going to have to make a circle and do some fancy editing, so that's what you get for talking shit about my salmon shirt. Okay, so it breaks down like this. I don't want to lose my train of thought. Just like many of you, I can go in my gym right now and I can get a handful of people that have been training for 5 or 6 years, which is kind of like what these studies use. They try to get like people who've been training for a while. I can go find 5 or 6 people who've been training for
Today, Junior?
I can go find a handful of people who've been training for like 4, 5, 6 years and then put them in a program and they're gonna see gains because most people don't really train as hard as they think they are. So you're gonna SPOCK some like, you can't really call it newbie growth, but once you put them on a specific program or you get them training just a little bit harder, they're gonna see some results. It's just the way it is. 99% of the clients that I work with, the ones that have been training for a few years, when I get them on my program and I push them and I get them doing more sets and more reps, and I'm still staying within those parameters because I have them usually starting out with full body programs, you know, like 5 to 6 working sets per body part, maybe 2 exercises for, you know, bigger muscle groups like chest or back, and 1 exercise for isolations. But anyways, they're like blown away by how intense the workout is because most people don't know what it truly means to train super intensely. And for me personally, when I was in my teens and 20s, we're gonna draw a circle right now, and Ricky's gonna have some fun. So let's put me in the bottom let's put me in my teens and 20s, and on the top, let's put me now, 35 years old. I know, I look like way younger than that, but I'm 35, right there. But basically, when I was first started training, bro splits were like the thing to do. So I would do bro splits all the time. And then in order to make those workouts more intense, I had to adapt different training principles to like my chest and triceps day, or back and biceps day, or my leg day, or my arm day, or my shoulders day. Whatever the workout was, it's usually about 2 body parts per workout for a bro split. So let's say I was doing like 3 sets of 10 repetitions per exercise. After a while, that would start to get a little too easy. So then I would start supersetting. And then when I was at my most extreme, training my most intense, I would do like 3, 4, sometimes 5 exercises per body part, and I would do what I call burn sets, which are glorified drop sets. And I'm gonna put a video over here to the right of me doing it on my bench, which is what I did yesterday. So a burn set, and this is part of my bodybuilding program that I'll post for you guys up here. So on my burn set, which is like a glorified drop set, I do 225 for 6 to 8 reps, then I lower the weight to 185 for 6 to 8 reps, and then I lower the weight again to 135 for 6 to 8, maybe 10 reps max for that last part of that set. And doing those drops, that completes 1 set. So 1 set is literally 3 in 1, okay? Then I would do that 3 or 4 times. So that's a lot more volume per exercise than if you were just doing regular sets of like, 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps and then move on to the next exercise. And so thinking about that, I'm like, man, when I was younger, I used to train so hard that my body had to adapt. And that's the key factor here is your body is adapting to how hard you're training. So my junk volume threshold, or how many sets I can complete before it becomes junk volume, on a scale of, 1 to 10, I'm probably more like an 8 or a 9, because that's what my body is used to. Where most people who go to the gym, they're down here. And these are most likely the people that are in those studies that they show, with the full body splits versus the bro splits in terms of gaining, muscle and training and, at what point you hit junk volume. And so I think the reason why full body worked so well for me, going back to my circle diagram, is since I was like 27, 28, like that's when I was really trying to take my business to the next level. And I noticed a kind of like a decline in my training intensity just because I didn't have as much time to train. In my teens and 20s, all I had to do was train. I literally worked in a gym. I was there 6 to 8 hours a day, and then I would train, so I'm there like 10, 11 hours every single day. Training my clients, training in between my clients, and then training myself at the end of the night, and then filming YouTube videos. Like I was doing so much work, of course. That's when I looked my best. I was pushing my limits all the time. And I already physically broke through so many, barriers, so many plateaus that now, when I did my move from Boston to Florida, it kind of threw my entire workout schedule out of whack. When I first met Ricky, I was like a fraction of myself right now. He'll tell you. He's like, I first met you, you're so small, you aren't even that puffy. Not kind of, what? Really white? I didn't have a tan. Yeah, I was so pale. I didn't have a tan. I wasn't eating enough. But no, seriously, my workout schedule was so bad just because of the move. And then at the time, I was filming my MetaBurn 90 program for Bodybuilding.com, which is all circuit workouts for a good 2 or 3 months. I was doing only circuit workouts when I could while I was stuck in an Airbnb while building this house. And then I had to build this house and build this gym and build my workout schedule was all over the place. Some weeks I'd work out maybe twice, maybe 2 times that week. So when I jumped on full body, and even if I only trained 3 times a week, it's almost like it was a jump start to get my body back on track. So this is me at 35, full body training, and now I'm kind of getting back to the intensity that I used to be at when I was in my teens and 20s, and I'm kind of at that halfway point right here, and I'm just noticing I just don't feel like these full body workouts are enough for me, and I think it's because I broke through so many plateaus in my younger years of lifting that I need more than 5 or 6 sets per body part in order to really feel it and see growth and have a good workout. Like I said, I've already busted through those plateaus. My junk volume threshold is probably much higher than the average person's, and my body remembers that. So in order for me, with a full body training routine, to do more volume, I gotta be in the gym for what, 3 hours, 4 hours? Because I'm hitting a little bit of everything with full body, right? And to be honest, guys, I like the size in that right now. On a good day, I'm like 188 pounds, I'm still pretty lean, and I can lift a lot of weight, I'm pretty strong. I'm 35 years old, I'm not competing on stage, I like the way I look, I can still see my abs, that's kind of what I'm going for. And most people don't want to bro split train because they're afraid that they're not going to build enough muscle. Well, when you already get to a point to where you're happy, and you get to a point to where you're not really looking to grow much more, like maybe right now I want to work on my traps a little bit more. They have grown since I did my nuclei overload training, but maybe I want to work on my traps and calves a bit more. I can still incorporate these multiple growth periods with a bro split. If I'm training chest and triceps and abs on Monday, there's no reason why if I want to work on my shoulders, I can't throw some power shrugs in that day. And then also have power shrugs or whatever on my shoulder workout day later in the week. So I can still hit the same muscle group twice a week. It's just that when you do a bro split, instead of working on everything at once, usually you pick one lagging body part and you focus on that for 4 to 6 weeks. And then after those 4 to 6 weeks are over, you pick another lagging body part and do the same thing. It's just an easy way to manipulate the workout. And also, I have so much more fun doing the bro splits. I remember, being a kid, being 14 years old, going in my basement, working out. I had the Orgy Candy Ass CD on repeat. That song Blue Monday had just come out and I was obsessed with it. But the best song on the CD is Stitches, for those of you who are fans of the band. And I literally put that shit on repeat, turn off my brain, and I would just work out for hours and just hit one body part at a time. And I absolutely love it. And then it brings up this whole other conversation we can have where what is the best workout routine? Is it the one you absolutely love, where maybe you don't have multiple growth periods like full body, but you train so much harder over here because you love it, versus doing the full body where you still kind of train hard, but you don't really look forward to it, so maybe it's not as much of a priority to you. And that's another good point. Like me and Ricky today I was training back and biceps, and he was doing legs. Literally just found the best radio station, Breaking Benjamin on iHeartRadio. If you guys haven't listened to it, it's awesome. Plays all the bands I love. But literally turned it on full blast, and we just trained for 2 hours? I destroyed my back. I did burn sets on every single exercise, did burn sets on my bicep exercises, and then we hit abs and did them on there too. And I just gotta say, I'm happy that I've been taking creatine for the last few months because, man, it's really coming in handy now. Shameless plug, you guys know, obviously I'm with BSN. So the creatine, if you guys wanna pick some up, if you're low, you can go to gobsn.com, use my code SCOTT15 for 15% off and free shipping. And I wouldn't be lying, especially when you guys watch the next video where I kind of went crazy. I was on pre-workout. NO Explode was running through these neck veins on that video. But anyways, creatine definitely helps with workouts like this because in order to do these burn sets, you need to have the energy and stamina and recovery in order to do that, and that's what creatine helps with. So the key point here, guys, is have an open mind. Be open to suggestion. Always find ways to push yourselves to new limits. And if you want to try the program that I'm doing right now, you can click this link right here, join my site, muscularstrength.com, use the promo code MS7, you can try it for 1 week free, and if you like it, you can continue. My website's only $10 a month, guys, and you get access to this program, all other of my 7 programs, all my one-off routines. There's hundreds of those in my custom meal planner. So if you're looking to support me and support my channel, instead of just throwing money on a Patreon or something like that, join my website and get something out of it. And if you missed my last video, you can check it out right here. Have a great day, guys.